we've got our horizon line. Let's put our vanishing point around the center. Now we're going to draw our equal-sided box, and it's best if you use your ballpoint pen. Start with your one corner. Take the width that you want, and turn it the other way. And that'll give you an equal-sided box. But even after that, now remember, use your whole arm. Don't just use your fingers. Use your whole arm. So there's that, and here's that, so it looks about the same. Now, as I mentioned, with one-point perspective, this is our vanishing point, you have three types of lines. You have horizontal lines, vertical lines, and perspective lines. So once you have your box, you need to use that vanishing point to figure out how much smaller it's going to appear a little further away, because we want to draw back on our box. So you take each of your corners to your vanishing point, and remember, you can draw phantom lines. Don't draw any line at all until you're ready, until your hand, you have the muscle memory to get the line in the place you want it to go. That's the beauty of using a ballpoint pen. You can go very lightly and then begin to firm up when you have something you think is correct. And we should do the inside. Now this is called drawing through. You're drawing as if this is a box made of glass, that you can see through it. So that way we'll have our box. We need some way of figuring out how to make it an equal-sided box in terms of the depth. And what I found is that if I divide this front part in half, just make an X, this X is really important. It's how you can find out so many things and do so many things. So if I want this to be, that's the center right there where that makes the X joins, that makes the center. So now I know what half the height is and half the width is. And what I've discovered is that in this position, in relation to the eye level, if I take less than half the box, just less than half, there's less than half, and turn it the other way, that will give me what I need. So remember what we're doing. We're trying to represent that. If I were to take that and turn it this way, look how far back it would go, and I'd end up with a rectangle. So I've got this now. Bring it across, but only bring it across as far as the next perspective line. And that'll give you an equal-sided box. Now how you can tell is that it's sitting down, it's behaving itself. If it were popping up, then it wouldn't be right. Now, this line is this line at a distance. And we need this line now. So I just make it the same way. It's on the same perspective line. I just bring it up. But where do I stop it? You stop it where the next perspective line interrupts it. Because that's how you drew this line. You drew it where that perspective line interrupted it. And then we need this line up here. We need this line. And it's a perfectly horizontal one, because that's how we drew the one at the front. So then you have that one. And it occurred where these two collided, where the perspective line and the corner collided. So that's where they go. And then this part should line up with this part, so I'm a little off. You can make your corrections too, you see, when you see this. So this should be here. Now that corner should be lining up. So we've got a equal-sided box in perspective. This is where you are. You're standing here. This is your eye level. And you're the one making the drawing. So you're telling the viewer that this is the best position from which to look at your box that you have to show them, this wonderful box. So that you know that's where you are. And you're well in front of it, aren't you? You're way, way in front of it. And it's in back there. We can bring this over, so just slide this over. This is a nice technique to use. Just slide this over, and we can slide this over. Okay, so we found the middle, and the middle is where the vanishing point is. So you can bring that over with a scrap of paper. There's our middle. And the next thing we did, we know there's the back. The next thing we did was take these corners to the vanishing point. Now, it's good practice to always be aware of the hidden parts, because when we want to put shadows in, we need those. So there are my hidden parts, but there's my box. And with the pen, just go a little darker and use your whole arm. I don't know, it may not be comfortable to use your whole arm when you're on an angle, but do your best to use the whole arm. And that makes sense, doesn't it? I'm standing, the box is right in front of me, and all I can see is the top.